Welcome to another edition of the Go Noles podcast. I'm your host, Gregory McCoy. This podcast is by a fan for fans. I am not a journalist. I am not a reporter. I am not an insider. I do not work for a website. The majority of my content comes from me, in my opinion. Other information comes from the internet. This game against Florida, to me as a fan, this is our bowl game. This is our national championship. This is everything to me. Individually, to me it is. I don't know what this game represents to other Florida State fans, but I don't care what bowl we go to. I don't care who we play in the bowl game. This game right here, to me, I want to beat these guys so bad. Only on the football field, I hate these guys. Okay? That's just where it begins and ends. Just on the football field. I never want to see them win games. I never want to see them be successful. I want their program to always lose every game. I want them to go 0-12 every year. And that's just it. And I've never liked any of their quarterbacks. Warfel, Tebow, Matthews, Cresser, any of them. I just, and it's only a football thing. I've liked some of their players. I've admired Percy Harvin. I've admired Javon Curse, Kevin Carter. That's really it. I'm sorry, Hilliard, Riddell Anthony, Jaquez Green, Fred Taylor. Just to name a few of the guys that I've actually liked or admired and respected. But that's it. I'm not a fan of them. And when we played them, when Florida State played them, I always wanted Florida State to crush them. I've been to two Florida games, 1997 and 1996. We got lucky and won the one in 1996 in Tallahassee. Then we got beat in the national championship. Then the one in Gainesville, we gave it away. And, I felt like that 1997 Florida State team could have won a national championship. I felt like we gave that Florida game away. That's if you're a Florida State fan, you owe it to yourself to go to a Florida State Miami game, at home and away, and a Florida Gators game at home and away. You owe that to yourself. It's an experience like no other. And, like I said, this to me, this game means more, than Clemson, than Miami. We need to beat these guys. We really need to beat these guys. And, I hate that they're not, over achieving and winning games, and they just lost to Vanderbilt. I hate that. I want them to come in, at their best so we can just stomp them. I feel like the only way we can lose this game, because they're not gonna out-athlete us this year. They did last year. They're not gonna do that this year. So I don't think that's gonna be a problem. I think the only way they can beat us is if we come out there and just be emotional, falling into fighting, undisciplined. If we just come out and stay focused and do what we're supposed to do, I think we very comfortably and easily win this game by at least 2 touchdowns. I think it can be something like 31-17, 31-14, something like that. Their quarterback is very dynamic, okay? But he's really all they have on offense. The defense, they've lost their best pass rusher. They're reeling. They're kind of like Miami right now. So if we just go out and play our game, I really don't see Florida being able to compete with us. I wish I had a bunch of analytics. I don't really do analytics. I'm not really into the recruiting thing either, as y'all very well know. I speak from just a average Joe fan. I could come on here and quote a whole bunch of analytics from what somebody else said, but, that would be disingenuous. And y'all, I wouldn't know what the hell I was talking about, and y'all would be able to see right through it. So that's why I don't come on here and try to sound smarter than I am. The only analytic that matters to me is wins and losses. I don't need to know, like, when the center has a runny nose, what's the percentage of us doing this and that. Analytics is for geeks. And I just kind of hate that it got introduced to the game of football. I know it's a very big part and it can help. It's kind of hard to complain about your team when you're on a 4-game winning streak. And like I said, when things happen with this team, I really try to sit back and just approach everything with a degree of realism. We played 4 really bad football teams. Okay, let's just put it out there. Miami's not that good. Georgia Tech is not. But Georgia Tech beat number 13 Miami, so maybe they are number 13 North Carolina. So maybe they are better than what we thought they were. Georgia Tech, Miami, Syracuse, and Louisiana. Syracuse is a total fraud. I don't know. I don't know who they played yesterday, but I'm pretty sure. I want to say it was some school, Northeastern or something. I didn't even check the score on that. I'm pretty sure they won. But I think, even with the 3-game losing streak, this can still be a special season. But to me, Mike Norvell, you have to get these guys, and you've done a tremendous job keeping these guys focused. They got to stay disciplined. You know what Florida's going to try to do. They're going to try to turn this into a fight. That's the only way they're going to stay in this game. Right? We need to win this game for us to get back to where we want to be, where all of us want this program and this football team to be. We make a lot of headway in transfer portal and high school recruiting. I think we gotta continue on that path. I'm not gonna do my season synopsis now. I'm gonna wait until after the bowl game. I'll do some little things here and there between now and whatever. I hope we go to the Orange Bowl. I really don't care who we play. But just, I'm proud of these guys. They fought back. They stayed strong. And, just hopefully we can go out. I don't just want to beat Florida. I want to dominate them. Winning is not enough. I want to dominate them. This game means so much to me as a fan. I don't know how the rest of y'all feel. But I just want them to dominate Florida. Winning is just not enough. A big side note, the tragedy that happened in Virginia. I feel for those guys. I feel for their families, man. Just senseless. I'm not really going to get into the politics and the whatever. But, something has to be done. And I don't know what it is. I really don't want to get into it, but my heart goes out to those families, man. I got, family members that age, and I couldn't even imagine. So, I just hope the families of those players from Virginia can heal and get through this as best they can. Florida Gators at Florida State Seminoles, Sunshine Showdown. What more can I say, man? This used to be like the best of the best, and it's not anymore, and on the national stage. To me, it's up there with some of the best rivalries ever. I feel like it's up there with Texas, Oklahoma, Michigan, Ohio State, USC, UCLA. I feel like this is a very big game. Auburn, Alabama. I just hope that Mike Norvell can get these guys to lock in, for 60 minutes and dominate. We've become a running team, which I love. Trey Benson can be the next great running back for this program. Jordan Travis, I think he, has made the quantum leap that we all wanted him to make. He still makes a head scratching throw at least once a game. He does. And, sometimes, like I said, the quicker you get the ball out of his hands, the better the result is going to be. The more or the longer he holds onto the ball is more likely that it's going to be one of those head scratching throws. Because it used to be when he first got the job as quarterback, if it wasn't there, he would just take off and run. And I wish he would get back to that a little bit. I think he's trying to show people, he's trying to show the pros that he can hang in the pocket and make, throws. But I don't like that. I'm just like, dude, you're trying to win a game. You're going to make it to the NFL. It's just a question of if you're going to be a first round pick or a fifth round or sixth or seventh round pick. So, my opinion on him, he should stay. But I don't know his financial situation. I don't know his situation at all. So, I'm not going to hold it against him if he leaves. I think he needs to stay. I think another year in this system could get him in the top 10 in the first round. If we can keep the offensive line together, as far as replenishing some of the talent, I know you got 3 seniors along that offensive line. I don't know what they're going to do with Lyles or Harris. I don't know where they fit in next season. They said they might try to get him another year of eligibility, Lyles that is, and, that would be tremendous. But I think you got a bunch of young guys waiting in the wings. And I just want to see them play. It's some young guys that's been in this program for a couple years, and we got to see what we got. But, and I give kudos to Atkins, the O-line coach, for getting the talent, coaching the talent, and getting the best out of that talent. Darius Washington stepped in for 2 games of this winning streak at right tackle and played tremendous. So I think you have to give him credit for that. I've been very hard on Darius Washington, and I think the film justified that. It's nothing personal. If you're not playing well, I think as a fan I can say that. This game means so much. We almost won it last year. I just think Florida had a better team. This year, I think we have the better team. We went out there and dominated LSU for basically 4.5 quarters, or 3.5, I should say. 3.5. We dominated them. They couldn't do nothing with us. And then in the end, we just started making mistakes and let them back in the game. And I feel like Florida's quarterback is just as good as the one from LSU. If you start making mistakes and give him the ball, he'll make you pay for it. So I just think it's really incumbent upon Jordan Travis and, all the skilled players to, take care of the football, and just, win the game. I want a blowout, but I'll just take the win. If it's a close game and we win, okay. But, these type of games, this game in particular, more so than Miami, is going to be a very emotional game. It just always is. Football is an emotional game, but when you're playing your arch nemesis, your arch rival, it goes up, times 100. So I hate that it's on Friday night. But whatever. It'll be, I don't know how our game got. It's going to be a primetime game, but I just don't understand how we got there. But whatever. ESPN basically controls football, college football anyway. So, that's pretty much it for right now. Just really, 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 we really, really need this win to get us back to where we want to be. I think if we can finish the season 9-3, man, open up the floodgates, I think we're going to really start getting some top talent. This is a game where you're going to find out if Florida State can take this. This is the next step. Your rival is reeling. Can you just go ahead and do what needs to be done and just put them out of their misery, end their season on a down note, and do it in a fashion in which, it hurts their program. Just putting them out of their misery, man. They just want their season to be over so bad. And we are ascending. Miami Hurricanes and the Florida Gators, they're declining. And, to me, this shows growth of your football team if you can just go out and destroy these guys. Not getting caught up in the emotion. Not getting caught up in, what Florida's going to do. If you have any insight into this rivalry, you know what Florida always does. They're going to try to turn this into a fight. And we can't let them guys take us there. We have to remain focused and just play football. If we come in, stay focused, just play football, don't talk, we're gonna destroy these guys. Okay? With that being said, it's still a rivalry. I expect Florida to come out and compete way harder than Miami did. I just, I felt like Miami came out there and played for about a minute, and when things got hard, they just quit. But just for me personally, and how bad I want to beat these guys, how bad I want Florida State to beat these guys, it's got to be times 10 for the players and the coaching staff. And, defensively, you've played tremendous over the last 4 weeks. Offensively, you played tremendous. Special teams have been great. And it all culminates to this game. To me, this game is bigger than the bowl game that you're going to go to. Unless you play like Michigan again or, some kind of absolute just great team. I really just want this win so bad, man. I wanted the Clemson game real bad. And that's next season, that's just something we gotta put an end to that crap too. Man, it's the season just goes by so fast, man. It just goes by so fast. It's been like 14 weeks of football that has just went by in a second. A New York minute. I just hate it, man. It's just like we'll be in the off season and August through February just goes by so fast. I hate it. I mean, I just love football season so much, man. And, especially when your team is doing good, it goes by even faster. I won't say that Florida State is back until we win an ACC championship, until we beat all our rivals in the same season. Then I'll say we're back. I think we're right. We're right at the first step to knocking on the door of being back. I feel like we got to beat Clemson. We got to beat Clemson. We got to win an ACC championship. Then we got to beat Miami. And then we have to beat the Florida Gators. We got to do all of that in one season. And then I'll say we're back. I'm not going to say playoffs or national championship because we're not that program right now. But just those things. Beat Clemson, win the ACC, beat Miami, beat Florida, and then I'll say, okay, we're back. Start getting top 5 recruiting classes again, bringing in tremendous talent on the offensive line and defensive lines. Then we can say something. But we're not getting like Derwin James anymore. We're not getting Jalen Ramsey or Mario Edwards or Telvin Smith or Ernie Sims. We're not getting those type of guys right now. Jameis Winston, Dalvin Cook. Those are the kind of guys we need to really take this thing to back or to the next level. And if we can do that, man, it's going to be, we can get this thing rolling again. It's nice to see Norvell show some intensity when it comes to this game. To me, this is our game. This is our season right here. If we don't come out and beat these guys, to me, it's all for naught. I mean,
you want to beat all your rivals. But, Florida is our arch rival, and, the only way Florida to me is going to, again, like I've been saying, going to be in this game is if they try to dirty it up, starting fights, getting penalties, things of that nature. If it's just straight up playing football, I think we're going to roll. I think we really going to roll these guys. But, I've seen Florida games where we were clearly the better team and Florida came out and played a spirited game. That has happened. But if we lose this game, that Florida Gators flag cannot make it to the center. It cannot make it to the center of that field by any means necessary. They did that to us in 2019. That cannot happen this time around. And, I just hope that whoever is putting extra emphasis on that, that's disrespect. My prediction is 31-17. I just think that their quarterback is very dynamic. His scrambling ability is off the charts. He has improved tremendously as a passer. And, he's really the only threat on offense. Defensively, they've lost, their best player in Cox. Like I said earlier, so we'll see who steps up, man. We got this quarterback. We flipped this quarterback from Ohio State. I don't know nothing about him. I would assume since he was committed to Ohio State, he must be pretty good because your boy Ryan Day is pretty good at picking quarterbacks. So that's, my philosophy. Get him into the program, coach him up, and see what you got. I'm not. It's very few players that I've actually had a man crush on. Ernie Sims, Dalvin Cook, Jalen Ramsey, Derwin James. Just can't miss prospects. Jameis Winston, Mario Edwards. And you can even go to some of the players that didn't make it, who could have been something special. Fred Rouse, Adrian McPherson, and I don't. He has to be an extraordinary talent for me to start talking about him on a regular. Like Travis Hunter to me is an extraordinary talent. And that's why I gave him so much recognition last season. Everybody was building him up, so I just started watching his tape and, dynamic playmaker, offensively and defensively. I don't feel like we got anybody like that in this class. But you just gotta keep building and keep climbing and keep getting better on the offensive and defensive lines. That's really the name of the game. I think we're going to get corners and safeties and linebackers. We're going to get those players. We're going to get wide receivers and running backs and tight ends and quarterbacks. We got to get those big rhinos up front. And we got to get those speedy defensive ends. And I think we're going to be okay. This game... This is the national championship for me. I really don't care what bowl game we go to. I don't care who we play. Of course, I want to win in the bowl game to get to 10 wins, but this is the game, to me, that's more important than, any other game this season, And I expect it to be very emotional, and I just hope that Florida State can come out and keep their emotions in check and blow these guys off the field. So with that being said, that concludes this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. It's available on YouTube. It's available on all podcast platforms. And as always, go Go Noles.